Anybody there? Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. I'm over here on chapter 3 real fast. Before I get into my morning routines and stuff like that, I thought I would give us a quick little business with chapter 3. Chapter 3 would be about this idea of what's so great about circumcision. Is there anything that you're going to get out of this once you have taken and disconnected from the world? All right. And I thought it would be like a really good run of conversation, but it started out kind of that way. In the scheme of things, it says that basically, let's see here. Let me see if we can get this thing to work for me. Um, what is so cool about it? He says, well, believe it or not, it's just where all the oracles of God are kept. So when these things happen, they get when you go this route, all those the parts of that would make God come alive in you. And so that's supposed. Hey, wow, check that out. It's supposed to be really cool. We got the oracle of God in us. It says This is Romans 3. It says, "What advantage then hath the Jew?" And remember, a Jew is someone who is inwardly and connected. All right, to God personally. And what profit is there of circumcision? Okay, and which is means the same thing. All right. Uh, Number 2, much every way, chiefly because that unto them were committed the oracles of God. Wow. Well, the oracles means is that I think that means that some with them you're able to read what these things are going on. You can see things. You can sow your seed correctly and stuff like that. And of course, that's what it is, because we wind up being, the chosen ones. All right? God's happy with us, right? For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make faith in God without effect? God forbid. Yea, and let it be true that every man be a liar, as it is written, that there mightest be justifications in saying, the might and the mightiest overcome, then thou art judged. All right, when thou art judged. Now listen, I kind of bossed all that up. They're talking about men, and he is bringing this idea that no, they're all bad. No, not one person is born on this earth already righteous in these ways. And this is what we're talking about. We just happen to be talking about it in the last one, but so what? It becomes in the third phase too. The Romans. What it means is that he put us all down here. All of us, mankind and man itself, is just lower. Skin is lower. Everything is lower than him, and he did it on purpose. And even the idea that that we came in disconnected. That's what it means to be in sin. Is to not be connected to God. It hasn't anything to do with all those things that you would say would be a sin equate to a separation of God. So being separate from God is the only sin that you have. And to think that you were born on earth without this connection and that you have to seek this is like a treasure of some kind that you would go to find, if only you'd known. But you get trapped up in religion and stuff like that. And so here's this. Listen to this. Listen to this. How is God going to judge the world anyways? If there's other righteous people coming in, if there was a whole mess of all of these godly people and stuff like that, how could God judge the world? And then, so this idea here is that they set us all up to where everyone comes in, whether you're rich in intelligence or poor in intelligence, everyone comes in without. And regardless and regarding your circumstances, what have you, what path you wind up taking. But anyways, what we get here is we say, then what better? Here we are. We're going to go to 10. As it is written, there is none righteous, no, not one. That's number 10. All right, recognize the one as a beginning, and it's talking about one. Number 11, there is none that understandeth. There is none that seeketh after God. They are all gone out of the way. They are together become unprofitable. There is none that doeth good, no, not one. Their throat is an open sepulchre. With their tongues they have used deceit. The poison of asps is under their lips, whose mouth is full of cursing and bitterness. Their feet are swift to shed blood, which is number 15. Destruction and misery are in their ways. This would be their 7, number 16. At the way of peace have they not known. This is number 8. Number 8, the way of peace. 8 is a control number. This is that idea that Israel, bringing all three together, Israel is the peace of mind. All right. And 8's the control. And so we would have number 18. Number 18, which would be a 9 for consciousness, right? And there is no fear of God before their eyes. All right, so I'm not going to read any more of that. Bring you guys back up. So later on, they're saying, okay, so so you have to be this inward guy in order to do it. You can't be an outward guy. This is this whole idea that you know they've set us apart here. They're showing the duality in this number 3 of those people that are hooked up. The oracle of God is inside them, but those people that are not hooked up, it's not. They can pretend all they want. This is that idea that you've worshiped God in vain. This is this, the fear of God's not inside you yet. So they say that all of those things have to happen before the end of times. So it really means that you have to have had some tough times, I guess, in a lot of ways. But they also say that everybody in their own time. So, maybe it's just, it says easier for a camel to fit through the eye of the needle than it would be a rich person. And that's the idea that in the stories, in real life, there is this little gate called the eye of the needle. And in order to get through it, you have to walk your camel through it. Now, as I've heard that what it is, the person has to come down from the camel, and all of this is symbolic. Has to come, no, and for real, has to come down off of the camel and have to take the burden off of its back. All right, that's the idea. You got to take the burden off the back, and you have to walk them through on your knees to pull them through this little place just to get into the holy city. All right, so it's the same idea that we would have to take the things off of our backs, and this is what causes the Pharisees to be, for God and them to not really enjoy the Pharisees, because of the burdens that they put on the backs of men. They neither enter within themselves, nor do they let those entering in go. So they inhibit those people so this is called shutting off heaven. And this is what religion is meant to do. They shut the gates to heaven. But then, while you believe that you're still going along the right ways, you're learning to fear God. And eventually, you get it, but maybe you won't. Maybe you won't. This world takes more darkness to run it than it does light. It doesn't take it seems, and I don't know what happens when you find the lights. How much longer are we allowed to be here in this dark planet showing light around? But anyways, Your end of times is whenever you've had enough, and you go up and judge yourself. This is the whole idea of igniting those wheels and those cogs and all those things inside of us, and turning on the light, you know, and then just kind of like watch, see what happens after that. Don't know what else to do. Still have a living, still gotta live, you know. But you know, just wanted to say hello. We can read up on number 4. That 4 is coming up. 4 is about traveling. 4 is about kingdoms. So we'll see what the next one is going to be about, right? So we've done one about God, talking about this, whatever, you know. Really, it's been about, finding out what a Jew is. What is someone? Who is this person that's closest to the Lord, And so far in Romans 1, 2, and 3, we've gotten what we've been looking for. 3 is this joining up, or telling us what happens when you're not joined up. Or it tells you what you have to go through before you hook up. All right, that's 3. And 4 is going to be about worlds. Worlds 4 is in the Hindu religion, it's a 4-sided man. It's the creation. It's our world. It's the world. It's our world. It's the earth. It's what gets cleaned. It's this part of us, and it has north, east, south, and west on it. And so with number 4, we'll learn about traveling. I haven't looked up ahead of time. I haven't. All right. But it should have something to do with kingdoms. All right. And if it's written pretty interesting, it should go in 4s, where it's like a traveling, where it's going to talk about, it'll bring about some kind of information where you have first the west, which is your intellect, is going to be in there, and it has something to do with blackness and darkness, or black, or kingdom of man, the outside. So that's what that is. And then we'll hear something that's going to have to do with our emotions, something red run through, because that's the north, comes in second in these stories. Then the third thing is something to do with the body. It'll have to do with the with pale. It'll be the body itself. That's what is the physical side of us, which is the south. All right, it's everything south. The brethren and things come in during these times, and stuff like that so it's a mix of 5, and it's also a mix of the 12. All right, the 12 different parts of our body. And then we finally get over to the other side, which is the white side, which is the east, the sun, the bright, the light. This is where we pitch our tents. You and I, we are this guy. We are our religious side of us is represented by the white side. Whereas if you are represented, if you don't know about going to the east, traveling to the east and changing your mind, you have the color of all these other ones, could be any of them. Atheists are black because it's in their intelligence, their intellect just doesn't make them fit this bill, so it's black and dark. It's actually the side of religion, it's people. Your emotions could be a part of it, being that it's red, and it's just so emotional. You're crying and you're being brought low. And this is in your heart. Remember, this is all the trouble comes from, and when you're following your heart. So, this is sinful. All right, this brings you right down into hell, right off the bat. And of course, the physical self is this idea that if you get caught up in the physical, it's a pale. It's the idea that it's a way of getting everyone involved. But that east is the place that we want to go. The sunrise is in the east, right? This is how it works. It's just beautiful. Darkness encroaches over this. This is Cain killing Abel and stuff like that, dark coming over the diet. And it's really about how the earth moves. So the number 4 is about the worlds and kingdoms. So let's see what happens, and that'll be our next little class. All right. And we're kind of predicting what it's going to be. All right, because of the number, the number 4 worlds. All right, traveling. Best to you guys. All right, and traveling is doing your works. All right, I'm gone. I'm gone. I'll see you later. Take care of yourselves. Bye.